Yeah, these data centers. I actually thought so when I guess it was probably 2022 going into 2023 was kind of the height of the data center warehouse building, and then 2023 into 2024 it seemed like it was slopping off, and people were pausing construction on these things and weren't really sure what they were going to do. But lo and behold, we get into 2025 and it was like they turned the switch back on and they're like, yeah, we're going to build more data centers than ever, and they're going to be bigger than ever, and they're going to use innovative materials more than ever. It's really been kind of a surprise to me that they just flip flip that switch. What are you seeing out there, whether it's on the shrinkage compensating side or other things with these data centers? Are you involved in very many of these projects? Because it just seems like it's on fire again, like it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, definitely in Georgia. You can't hardly open up the Atlanta Business Journal without at least one or two articles a week being about power demand and data centers. Still, you would think that was very much the case last year, and you'd think it kind of fall off, but it just seems like it's a recurring thing because we're consistently in the top, 3 to 4 states of that type of construction. It's kind of hit or miss for us on that shrink comp side, depending on who the owner is and what they're looking for, whether or not we get involved. There's one thing that's been kind of curious to me is the variety in design and variety in approach, depending on which one of those entities owns it. It's not like there's 15 dozen owners out there, but the ones that do it definitely have their own way of doing them, and they're doing them a little bit differently depending on where they go in the country. So that's been kind of interesting to see when we get involved, when we don't. I just saw speaking of the Business Journal, just saw where the Rivian plant is kicking back up again, and that was like big news several months back where they paused construction on that, and you're like, great, is this a sign of the times? Because there's so much work going in the Carolinas and Georgia based on vehicle manufacturing and auxiliary components and things. So you're like, great, what does that mean for all these battery plants and other automotive manufacturing? So not sure what the sign of the times is or not, but it was glad to see that mega investment in the state of Georgia, I forgot how many thousands of jobs that thing's going to bringing in, is back on, and they're moving forward with that. So I think that's good to see a little bit of a fear of some of this manufacturing that was based heavily into certain sectors that you're not sure how the economic or interest rate or political winds are going to swing it. It's kind of holding true to that age old lesson. It really doesn't matter who's in office. It's how our company's going to adjust to the current policy, because we're in it for the long term. They're in it for the short term. So you just got to figure out how you're going to adjust and move forward. And so if that holds true, some of the other things that are going, I think it's going to be really good going into next year. So I'm really hoping this is sort of like the lull before the storm, maybe give us a chance to maybe enjoy a little football for a while before we really have to get out and start hustling like crazy again, because there's going to be a lot of things to shake a stick at.